All right, so we're not in the body shop, but to be a production painter or to do anything in life, it first starts with you. So if you want things to change for you, you gotta change. And I believe in that firmly because I've told you guys before that I've been doing this for 27 years. But for the last 7 years, I really changed my ways and really tried to see what I could become. And it's worked out for me very, very well. And I wanted to start off here because without yourself changing or without being who you need to be to do the job or to get better in life, you're not gonna go anywhere. So first it starts off with you, and that was why we started off in the mirror there. So we're gonna start off and we're gonna get into this. We're gonna be at the shop. We're gonna show you all that stuff, but this has to begin with you as a person to be able to do what you need to do to get to what you want. So like I said, for the last 7 years, I've been really stepping it up and doing my best. And the 20 before that, I always did good, but I knew there was something in me that I wasn't doing, and that was improving on your personal and self-development. So I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd drink beer, I'd get up feeling bad, having a hangover, and I got sick of that routine knowing that I wasn't going anywhere, because the minute you get home, you have a beer, you kind of forget about the day, and it takes you away from your goals. All right, so we made it in the shop, and now we'll go over the things that I look for when I'm gonna be checking out a shop for employment. So there's a lot of things that come into play when you're going to a shop, and things you wanna definitely look at before you just jump into a shop, because once you get there, you'll start to notice these things, and if you just did a random jump to a new shop, sometimes it's too late, and you gotta stick it out there. So we've all made mistakes, and we've all had problems in our careers where we had to take a jump and we really didn't have time to look at the shop to see what it was gonna be like once we got our foot in the door. So now that we get smarter in this business, I like to really evaluate where I'm gonna be going, what they have, and what kind of equipment they have, and the people that are working there, how busy is the shop. But the number one thing that I look for when I go to a shop is, do they have the work that I need to do what I want to do? So whether you're getting into this as a young tech or a guy that's trying to learn this business, to me, the busier the shop, the better off you're going to be, because you're going to have more talent in that shop and you're going to learn quicker. So you can definitely learn in a smaller shop, and that's where I started out my career, was in a small family-owned business, and I learned a lot from those people because they were willing to teach me and not hold back secrets. So you can definitely learn from a small shop, but once you get your skills under your belt, you're gonna wanna get to the busiest shop you can to really get to what you need. So you guys know, being a painter, the first thing you're gonna wanna look at is, to me, the spray booth. So you guys see here, we have a beautiful, nice, brand new spray booth, and that's a very, very big deal in what you're gonna be able to produce out of the booth. So I've worked in very bad booths and I've worked in good booths, but the booth is a very big factor in how that paint job is gonna look. So there's a lot to a booth. There's the environment, the positive pressure, the way it flows, the lighting, and all those things are gonna be the biggest key for a painter, because this is where you spend most of your time at work, is in the booth. So it really makes a difference if you have a nice booth on the outcome of your paint job, because old booths that don't really flow good and don't work well, if they're not a true downdraft spray booth, you're gonna have a lot more issues and you're gonna have to work harder for it. And I've definitely done that through the years. So you gotta start somewhere, and the more you learn, if you start in a bad booth, it's gonna make you appreciate something like this more, because you've started out at the bottom, and that's gonna make you a stronger painter as well. So now that I've been in this business for a long time, I try to get rid of those things, because it's that much harder to produce a nice job when you don't have a good spray booth. So that's the number one thing that I look at, other than the work, is my booth. So the next thing I look at is what kind of materials are they using at that shop. And there's a lot of guys that like to stay to one material, one paint brand. And to me, I've always liked to change paint brands because it makes me better. So the more you know and the more systems you can spray, it only gives you more knowledge in what you do. So I don't want to be limited to one thing. So I kind of look forward to when I go to a new shop, do they have a new paint system? Because I know within a month's time, no matter what paint it is, if it's one of the top 5 brands, I'm going to be able to use that paint. So don't look at it as, I don't know the system, I got to learn that, will I be able to do it? Because at the end of the day, paint is paint, and there's a lot of different things between the systems. But you have to be able to adapt in order to go far in your career. And we all have our favorite lines, our favorite clears and different things like that. But I like trying new things out. And that's what's made me better through the years, was actually taking things that I don't know and trying to learn them, and that which gives you more experience in it. So you guys know we have a nice PPG paint setup here. We're using the water base, the Enviro base. And this is a really good system. And you guys know I was spraying the Sherwin before, but I originally started out with the water base with the PPG, so I already knew this system. And so along the lines of the actual materials, you want to make sure that that shop has a setup of materials in an area where they have a backup. So you definitely don't want to be working in a shop that only has one toner on the bank. You want to make sure they have an actual setup to where you're never going to run out of what you need. So here at this shop, they have everything in cabinets with backups, all the materials we need, and we keep that stocked. That way, we never stop doing what we need to do here at this shop. So the worst thing you want to do is run out of a material in any shop you go to. So you want to make sure that they have a nice setup. And you guys see here, we have everything, all the clips, the computers, and we have our toners backed up. So that way, we have what we need to keep on producing here. So this is another big step in production in a shop, is having what you need. That way you never run out. So you guys see we have everything labeled. When we take it and use it, we scan it, they order more, and we're able to keep working on these cars. You don't want any downtime, especially with the production. And you guys know that this is what this is about. This is a production shop. We do high-end quality work, but we're also in, the production end of this. So make sure you have what you need to do the job. And when you go around and they show you the shop, look at all these things to see if you're going to have what you need to do it. So one of the next things is definitely the compressor in a shop, and you want to make sure you guys have a compressor that is maintained and is efficient to run this shop. You guys see here we have 2 pumps on this here compressor, so if one was to go down, we could still run the shop with the other one. So this one here will stagger. Once this pump is full, it'll go from this pump, fill the tank, and then it'll go to this pump and fill the tank. That way it lets this one rest. So having good equipment is definitely something you need to produce in a production shop. So we have everything we need with that. We've got our dryer system, the filters in the booth, and all that stuff. I'll show you. All those things make a big difference in the outcome of your day. And these are the filters on the booth after the compressor. That way we have clean lines. So all these things play a big part in the refinishing aspect of a job, because you definitely don't want to be fighting moisture and any kind of contaminants in the airline. And we're running the Festool here. You guys know we run a dustless sanding system here to keep the shop clean. And this is definitely something that you guys want to check into, because if you have these in the shop, it's definitely going to be a much cleaner environment. And with less dust, you're going to get less dust on the car, which will keep it cleaner before you get into the spray booth, because you don't have dust flying around in all the cracks. So look for these type of things when you're doing your walkthrough on the shop before you go there. So the next big important thing that I look for at the shop is, do they paint their parts off the vehicle? So I've been spraying now for years with everything off the car and paint it one time, because that's the best efficient way to run a production shop. We don't have time to cut parts in, hang them on the car, have the body man align it, bring it back to you, then spray it again. You want to touch these cars one time in a production shop. And in order to do that, you're gonna need the stand. So you wanna check and see if they have the equipment to paint vehicles apart, because that's To me, one of the biggest things in a production shop is being able to paint cars apart. So I don't know many shops anymore that are production that paint cars all together. So to me, you get the part, the body man may test fit it if he's not comfortable, but usually the parts will be checked immediately, go right over to the paint shop, be painted, and they'll be put on the car. So that's key for me. I can't go backwards and do things like they used to do years ago. I'm always trying to, go towards growth and doing things a smarter, better way. To me, that's the only way to paint a car. So look for that. It's very big in production on the end of you guys making money in the paint shop. And this here is one of our mobile estimating systems. So this kind of stuff is definitely something you want to look for in a shop, because you guys know that this means that there's someone out on the floor making sure that these estimates are updated and you need what you have to do the job. So at this shop here, we run a paperless system, so we do not have estimates in the cars. Everything is on a CCC app, which you have access to on your phone. So you look up the job on your phone, you don't have to ask any questions, and you don't have to go looking around for people to see what needs to be done. So having something in your hand that you're able to go to instead of going around searching for people in a shop is key to you being productive in your day. So the last thing I want to do is run around looking for people to ask questions on what I need to do to this car. I want to know that I got what I need, it's on the ticket, and all I want to do is figure out how I'm going to be able to get it done. So eliminating all those things is going to make you better, faster, and get more work done, and the shop's going to benefit it as well. So when you see these kind of things, you know that this place is really trying to do what they need to do to get the most out of that shop. So all right guys, so this is what I look for in a shop. If you guys have any things that you guys look at when you go to a shop that I missed, go ahead and leave them in the comments. But when I got to this shop and I talked to the owner and I knew his mindset, I knew this was going to be the pace for me to grow and get better at what I do. So also, I had showed you guys a while back, he had given me some books to read on the personal development as well. So when you got a guy that's going to give you stuff like this to make you a better person, you know that you're in the right place. And this here book is a very good book to anybody that may be interested in learning some stuff about self-development and businesses. So it's called The Goal. And it's a storyline of a guy working in a factory that thought he was doing a good job. And when he met a real serious mentor of him from years before, he realized he really wasn't doing as good as he thought. So this book is great, and I think you guys will like it, so check it out. But leave some comments if I missed something that you guys look at when you go to a job. You guys know you're gonna wanna talk about insurance, benefits, and pay, but that's on a personal note. So all right, so stay tuned to the next video where we're gonna see what the shop looks for in the employee that they're hiring. So that'll help you guys out as well. We know what we want, but we have to see what they need from us and what they're looking for. So we'll work on that one in the next video. So see you guys on the next one.